Hi, I'm Keisha Woods, CEO and founder of Modish and Swank Clothing Company. What you guys are about to see is a dance and fashion show that I put together to give you my take on what is important about social injustice to me. So enjoy it, and when you come back, I'm going to give you my personal story and a little bit of insight as to why I created this.
I am happy to join with you today as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. To end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. One day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream that one day.
Better the rooted now. My stakes be deep now. Me rooted in the melody. Young girls stay rooted. I don't plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. I don't plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. All my songs come with melanin. Got the heart, got the soul like Harriet. A queen since she born, that was evident. That's evidence of black excellence. I can tell a good dog when I'm petting him. Know that if I have his tribe, he protecting them. Mother of a child of God, I invest in them. Nutrition and brown milk in them. Young Rosa, young Luther, keep marching. Floodgates coming over, don't stop them. I know that life, it ain't easy. Your life, it matters, believe me. Roll out the face and the fries. Hide it behind a facade. Young girls, stay rooted. I don't plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. He pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. I don't plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. I don't plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. He pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. I don't plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. All my rules stay embedded in. Hard work, let him know ain't no trending it. Popping off on the charts, that's a better win. Than popping off in the streets, ain't no checking it. I can tell a good dog when I'm petting him. Know that if I have his tribe, he protecting them. Mother of a child of God, I invest in them. Nutrition and brown milk in them. Young Rosa, young Luther, keep marching. Floodgates coming over, don't stop them. I know that life, it ain't easy. Your life, it matters, believe me. Roll out the face and the fries. Hide it behind a facade. Young girls, stay rooted. I don't plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. He pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. I don't plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. Watch out, boy. You think you can pull me up out of my stems? Nah, me rooted in the soil. Me rooted in the melon. Young girl, stay rooted. I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. You pull the hood out me, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. I done plant my seeds, now I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted.
Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the dance and the fashion show, just to give you a little bit of background and insight into the things that I love. Now I'm going to go ahead and take you into the story of where this all comes from. Social injustice is very important to me, especially on the parole reform side, because my husband is currently incarcerated and has been for the last 12 years. The main problem I feel with the parole system is it's not set up to really rehabilitate someone that has maybe made a few bumps and bruises in their life and need change. I understand people make mistakes, you break the law, you have to go to jail, I understand that, but I feel there's a broken system in the amount of time that are given to men, especially African American men, and I feel like the system is not set up to help you grow and reform and become better. So recently my husband was up for parole for a second time in regards to coming home. He was denied under the contents of likely to commit the same offense again. And this is coming from a parole board that has not really looked at his case, investigated what have you done in the last 10 years, and then what did you do in year 11, what did you do in year 12 that would make you say no one should come home or shouldn't come home. Personally for us, Christopher did the work, although there are many backstories to his case and things that we have to dig into later that are untrue on the unjust side of police and our black men going to prison. But in his case, he understood that he wasn't 100% innocent. And for the things he needed to grow in, he chose to do the time, which they said was going to be 10 years of a 20-year sentence that he received. So in doing the time, when it comes up for parole after 10 years, you're excited, you've put in the work, everything's in your file. He's worked hard, he's taken classes, done business expos. He's actually a trustee in the prison system, which is the highest level you can be, goes out and works for Habitat Humanity in neighborhoods with no one holding their hand, and then he's just slapped and told, denied, you can't come home because you're likely to commit the same offense again, without any kind of training. And I think that's a problem within our system. I've sat and listened to him tell me stories about other guys, and I just, it makes me cringe and cry when I think of how the system is not set up to help someone who may have been wronged, have a mental issue, where it's not equipped to help anybody. The thing that I want people to know is I feel we need to really get into the law books around paroling and reform and really educate ourselves on the information, because there are things that are being done that I feel just should not. You shouldn't be able to do those things that are being done around the process of, like, the fact that you can't go into a room and speak on a relative's behalf. You know, you get a call on the phone from someone that already had their mind made up about the person's file they're reading before they ever really talk to you. So I feel like the process around parole needs to be changed. The classes you take, the evaluating part of the process, that needs to change so people are really given a fair chance to be looked at, judged, and then determine if they should or should not come home. And it shouldn't take you having to get an attorney to go before you to be the only way that people understand who you are. Another thing I think people need to know about that's not known about in why people aren't being reformed in prison is that I feel like it's privately funded for the most part, so I feel a lot of it comes into money. It becomes about money. I've heard different stories and different people talk about the money that they get with the more people that are incarcerated. And I feel that plays into there not being a correct paroling process to get people out, because let's be clear, if this makes you money, then why would you want someone to be rehabilitated and go home? But then that's not fair to the many women and men who may have made a mistake, changed their lives, and want to get home to their families. Because let's just be clear, they're not the only ones that are in prison in this time. The families we're in prison to with them through this process. So we definitely mainly, I feel, rally around understanding the rules around paroling, what can and cannot be done, and how do we make that whole system of rehabilitating people better from the inside. You know, you have programs on the outside, like my church has Tory, there's different programs on the outside to help. I'm creating one myself, but it needs to start from the inside of prisons, having really good programs that help people rehabilitate themselves on the journey to be better and coming home. So we found out one of the main reasons around Christopher being denied is this thing called protesting that happens at the local DA level's offices. In his case, it has happened in 2 different districts. I don't know if that's within the same year or 2 different years, but we don't even understand what this is. I don't even know what that means to be protested, but I found out in talking to different people, it's a big thing, and it's an issue that's keeping men and women in prison, men and women that have done the work, worked hard to come home, and then they still have someone in the office that doesn't have a process around seeing if they've really rehabilitated or reformed, just go ahead and deny them based on this particular thing called protesting. So I have a call to action that we need to understand what protesting is, and I just kind of hope that as reform changes and happens, that those offices will create a better process to really seeing if somebody is doing the work to being better before you determine that they should be protested and not allowed to come home. So with the dance and the fashion show that you just watched, that was my depiction and my take on giving a little insight to social injustice right now. Not so much from the heavy side of everything we're having gone on from all the racial standpoints and different things, but I kind of wanted to create something to just show how beautiful we are as a people, not to lose the power that we have as a people, and to stand in that and begin to create a bridge where we can show people who we are, how beautiful we are, and get back to that place of working together. That dance was to show you, bring awareness to the topic of me talking about parole reform and knowing that we have to make a difference. And I think if we stand in that power that we are and in that truth, that there's a call to action we can do to not to forget about our men and women that are incarcerated, to educate ourselves. If you have a loved one, or if you don't have a loved one, a friend, educate yourself around the rules and the processes of prison reform so that we can help loved ones and friends get out of this nightmare revolving door of this system and be well informed to bring them home.
Welcome back. Thank you. What did you all think? 30 minutes of pretty breathtaking stuff, right? Terrence, thank you again for bringing